Hold up. Why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I got a low tolerance, cause they don't even know what the problem is. It's me. You waiting on the boy to fail, then hold your breath and face your death. Cause you play a roulette with each step. I progress, no less. Go ahead and place your bet.
Welcome back, y'all. This is the Double M Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Jesus Dinero, here with my co-host,
Puma El Gato.
What do we got going on tonight, my man?
We're talking about the main event of UFC Fight Night, Israel Adesanya versus Joe Pyfer. Let's talk about it.
So listen, guys, it's no hidden secret that Israel Adesanya has been on a bit of a down streak. Unfortunately, I think where it all kind of started coming to a culmination is after his fights with Alex Pereira. Now, I know what some of you guys will say, hey, man, he ended up getting the dub in the end over Alex Pereira, but listen, man, it's 3-1, and Israel became all the things he didn't want to be. He became that guy that ended up telling or being able to say, oh, you know, I got one over Alex, when he was saying Alex was going to be that guy. The reason I say that is because if you look at his fights after Alex Pereira, he fought Sean Strickland, he lost. He fought DDP, he lost. He fought Imavov, he lost. And yes, to a certain degree, maybe those were different fights for different reasons. If you look at all those guys, they all got into his head a little bit. By the time he fought Imavov, he was already in his own head. But Sean Strickland definitely got in his head with the dog comments. DDP got in his head with I'm the real African comments, and so on and so forth. The reality of the circumstance is that Israel Adesanya is still the same guy that he was before. He has all the tools to be just as dominant as he was before the Alex fights. It just, unfortunately, his head game has been messed up. And unfortunately for him, it plays too much of a factor for him. Israel has to believe he's that guy. And for a while now, he hasn't believed he's that guy. He did for a long time. That's why he was always gloating. He was always showboating. He was styling on his opponents. He's just not that guy anymore, unfortunately, because he's gotten in his own head. I would like Israel Adesanya to win. I believe, again, something I said a second ago, he has all those tools to do so. Phenomenal footwork. He has great instincts when it comes to when to throw a punch, when not to throw a punch. He has a phenomenal time when he's trying to make sure that he gets the right setup spin. He has all the tools to get it done. He does. He absolutely does. It's just a matter of, can he get out of that dark headspace? And listen, just because he's been doing bad doesn't mean he can't come back. And I would like to see Israel Adesanya come back as a dominant force, especially because it's been some time now since he has been, amongst the best of that division. Now, that being said, I got to give you guys the honestly, he's in his head. And I think that plays a big factor, way too much of a factor for Israel Adesanya. Because of that, I do believe Pyfer can take it. Pyfer has enough dynamic work to where if he catches Izzy, which Izzy is prone to being caught, Sean Strickland caught him a bunch. Alex Pereira caught him a bunch. Imavov caught him a bunch. Even DDP caught him a few times, even though DDP just awkwardly wrestled him quite a bit. He's been known to be caught. So if Pyfer can catch him, which I believe is possible, Pyfer can get him out of there. Like I said, I would like Izzy to win. I think Izzy deserves a comeback tour. He was enough of a force that I feel like he does deserve that, but he needs to get out of his own head. It's the mental that's messing him up. It's not his tools. His tools are all there. He just can't reach for them when he needs to reach for them like he used to. But that second guessing is just going to weigh on him too much, and I think that could be a factor in the fight. I'm hoping to see something different from Izzy. I'm hoping to see him come out better and stronger, and I really believe that he can do it. It's not to say Pyfer can win. Pyfer can absolutely win. He also has the tools to be able to do that. What do you think about that, my man?
Listen, man, people might have their gripes about Joe Pyfer, considering the fact that he is ranked number 3 in the middleweights and Israel Adesanya is ranked number 6 in this. And look, there is something to be said about the rankings and all that, but at the very least, I want to at least judge Joe Pyfer at the very least on his own merits based on the performance that he's had, and also Israel Adesanya based on the performance that he had and how well they're going to link up this Saturday night. If I'm going to give some benefit of the doubt to Joe Pyfer, one of the greatest things that I think he might have going into the Saturday night is the fact that he has a very strong right straight, and that has been the one deciding factor at the very least that's been getting him to the dance every single time, and that's been getting him most of his decisions, if not TKOs. I mean, go look at his fight against Kelvin Gastelum, and again, Kelvin Gastelum was, I would say, mostly a grappler, and Joe Pyfer at the very least went toe-to-toe with him, and he actually dropped the Kelvin Gastelum at the very least multiple times using just the right straight. And again, that's probably his worst performance that I would probably say, but he still got the win over Kelvin Gastelum, not to say nothing of Jack Hermanson. But go look at his fight against Magomedov, his most recent one. That right straight was the one thing that basically got him a TKO, or no, sorry, not a TKO, a submission win over Magomedov. So that right straight absolutely is a danger, and if I'm going to give some credit to his wrestling, it's not A plus, but at the very least, I would say it's damn near competent at the very least. So if I'm going to give some credit to his wrestling, I'd say it's not his greatest strength, but at the very least, it's probably one of the underrated strengths that he has. Now, if I'm going to give some credit to Izzy, in the past, at the very least, he's able to withstand pretty phenomenal blows, but I do think going up in wars up against the Sean Stricklands, the Alex Pereiras, the grappling that he had to endure from Dricus du Plessis, I think the battle damage has basically got him to him at a very decent point. And if I'm going to give some credit to Israel Adesanya again, his takedown defense is pretty good, but I have noticed in the fight against Nasruddin Imavov, where he did stuff to the takedowns from Imavov, he was able to stuff them pretty successfully. At the very least, one thing I did notice from Israel Adesanya in stuffing those takedowns is that he looked to be pretty gassed out after stuffing just 2 of those. And again, that was in round 2, I believe. So if he was able to stuff them takedowns, great, but he wasn't able to recover really afterwards. And somebody with at least a competent wrestling grappling stat from a Joe Pyfer, I do think that might play an advantage over Israel Adesanya, even if Israel Adesanya is able to stuff those takedown defenses. If I'm going to give points for victory for Joe Pyfer, it's get him out of there as quick as you can with that right straight. And if you can't get him out of there quick, rely on the wrestling, because I guarantee you that's going to get some gas out of Israel Adesanya, and Israel Adesanya is going to be easy prey after that. If I'm going to give some points to Israel Adesanya for points of victory this upcoming weekend, I'm led to believe that the fight itself is a 5-round bout. Those first 2 rounds, you got to give him the Joe Pyfer. You're going to need to outlast him at the very least, and you got to hand those first 2 rounds over to him. In the meantime, try and take any blows that you can from Joe Pyfer as softly as you can and as safely as you can, and try and build up some damage and get some gas out of them, because I guarantee you that gas that he's going to be saving up during those rounds, I guarantee you is going to keep going to those right straights. If you can outlast that, you can get yourself a unanimous decision. Now, if you were to ask me who do I think is going to win coming out, I'm a big fan of Israel Adesanya. I'm going to be completely real with you. I do think Joe Pyfer is going to take this TKO by round 3. And it's heartbreaking for me to say that, but I can't keep looking at the stakes that are going on this Saturday night and come to the conclusion that Israel Adesanya might, more so often than not, win this Saturday night. I do think Joe Pyfer has the potential tools to probably take Israel Adesanya quicker than Israel Adesanya might expect, and that's the heartbreaking thing about this. I'm a big Izzy fan, but one thing I have to say to the audience, I can't let my biases get in the way of what I think is actually going to happen this Saturday night. I have to be as real as I can with you. I think Joe Pyfer might take it. It might be a bit harsh, but what do you think about my thoughts on that?
No, yeah, man. Again, we're here to give everyone the straight facts. We may like a particular fighter, but if the reality, the circumstances points in the opposite direction, we got to be real about that. I do think Izzy has all the tools to be able to do so. Not to say Joe Pyfer can do it. He absolutely can. Izzy's definitely prone to getting caught. He's definitely been leaving himself open more as of late. So Pyfer can definitely capitalize on that. We'll see what happens, man. It's going to be an interesting fight. It's going to be a great fight. I'm looking forward to it, and we'll definitely give you guys the update as soon as the fight is over. Let you guys know what we think about the performances. And with that, make sure to like, comment, hate, subscribe, DM us about the bullshit, and
until next time, get rest and stay blessed. We'll see you in the next one.